So it is currently the next morning and holy it's cold. But it is the next morning and I do want to go to the same place as yesterday morning and we can do a cold start. Assuming once again the valves are closed. We're gonna mess around today hopefully and we're gonna figure out if they're actually closed or open. And I don't know if you can hear me, but it's loud as fuck. Let's quickly put the car into park. Let's get ready to do the cold start. We're gonna be doing more tests with it open and closed, but we can still see that it's still only like one side doing it. I'm not sure why. We're gonna wait till we can actually mess around with the valves, open them and close them while they're on. But so far it is actually pretty good. But in general, it does seem a lot quieter. Like it doesn't actually like full on like blow your ears out. But I'm pretty happy. So once again, next day at the garage, we're gonna literally just clear out the entire boot and hopefully we can find it where to actually plug in the actual valves. So it is pretty easy to just remove all the little trim in the boot. And then now it's literally just going to be looking for a little hole.
Dawaj, dawaj pomału. Dawaj. Up. Jedź. Dobra.
So we can see what they had to do when we came back. So they had to do this extra long support beam that literally connects to both of the mounting points. So my dad did have a battery for one of these, so we can see the light is not working. We've plugged in both of the sensors as well. So now we can just kind of put this into the 12-volt socket.
Dobra, dwa chodzą.
So let's quickly maybe get like a quick before and after. Alright, but that's basically all working now, so that's good to know. Now we can kind of just prepare everything and hopefully find a spot to plug them in from the inside. Okay, so we did actually find a little rubber piece we might be able to use. It's right under the rear backside. We're trying to dig into it, which is right here. Do it through. Coś ci pomóc? Oh, and there it is. So I'll try to show you guys exactly the easiest way how to get to that little hole right there. You're going underneath the right side of your car. Your exhaust kind of starts here. You have a little heat shield. You go a little bit more up past this little plastic part. And then you see this little mount, and if you look right in between, and that's exactly where we're going to put the wire through. So I think it'll be better to quickly unplug both of these and then wire it through first, just so we can put the wire down instead of bringing it up, because it'll be harder to kind of catch it. So once again, we get one, we can feed it through, we get the other one, feed that one through as well. And already we can see we have both of the cables here now. Well, now we can literally just grab it. So we didn't unscrew this heat shield for no reason. So let me just quickly screw it back on, just because it's kind of in the way of putting this connector back on. Okay, so this is from the back. This is on the right side. You can see here, it's really easy. Put it in.
A few moments later.
Now for some reason it just doesn't want to click into place. So we just quickly use a 10mm socket to quickly unscrew the actual actuator thingy, and we can see that both of the plastic pins were kind of pushed out. So we just have to just push them back in. So they came off from both of them and they got stuck onto this one for some reason. We have to undo the little the side spot. It's like just dripping everywhere. And do you remember when we were doing our rear diffuser and we have to glue this back on? We're also just seeing that the splitter came with these two side bits. One of them is good and one of them seems like it cracked during shipping. So we're gonna have to see if we can somehow put it together. Yeah, so after we put it off, we took it out and put it back. It did kind of snap, so we'll leave that for the end. It's not a big deal. We'll just kind of go back to the main part of the video. The goal is going to be to get this actuator and wrap it around the back to the heat shield and bring it all the way behind to that hole as well. The other one is going to be a little bit better because we can kind of just put it right behind the back box. We did bring the cable from above the exhaust just so we can of course put it right here. So let's just get a 10mm here to unscrew the heat shield, and then we'll be able to drag the cable and put it underneath the actual heat shield. We want to make sure that straight from the actuator, it goes straight down. Let me go outside, get the access cable out. Let me pull on it, just so we don't have too much. Okay, so this is the current setup. When you're from behind the car, this is the left one. So it goes straight down, it goes behind the heat shield, goes back, up to there. I'll show you guys in a second. And then from the right side, it basically goes straight into the little cut of the heat shield. If we go all the way back, if we go from a back perspective, we can see that the right one goes right here. Loops around, The hole is right there. You can kind of see the whole outline right there. So that's everything below the car, basically all done. It just sucks that we did break the little spot, so we'll have to fix this as well in a second, which is kind of annoying. You see, the plan is to try to take off the actual connector, make a tiny little hole in this, and then only put through the cable just so there's not a big hole from the actual connector. And then obviously the goal is not to have any moisture going through this. So while we were trying to separate the connector, it did break. So real quick as well, just so it won't be too boring, but we basically just cut the cable in half, put it through the little hole, and then we kind of just soldered the wires together instead of taking apart this one, because now we're gonna have to put this one back. We just secure everything with zip ties, and then we can just put it into the corner next to the battery. Very nice. And now that's nicely sitting, literally not even blocked or anything. Everything is nicely done. 12-volt power right here. So that's all done. We can go and get our boot trims, put them back. So we have this, I just kind of pops back. So it's just 2 clips needed for this, so we have them right here. Then we have the plastic trim to put back. You just have to remember to put it behind the rubber. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 little clips. And now literally the last thing for the boot is the actual flap that goes inside with the little storage compartment. And now that literally should be all done, except obviously the little spot that I'm gonna have to quickly clean, and we'll quickly fix this as well. Thankfully the 12-volt socket turns off when the car is not being used. So we can open up the door to kind of like, you know, wake up the car. We can see it's on. And for the last time, since everything is back to normal, let's try out the buttons. So we have open, closed.
A few moments later.
So the only thing we're doing now is using heat and the metal little pins that go inside, and they basically just hold it together. So you can see here, that basically just melts it into the plastic. So no, my little problem was kind of fitting it because it didn't really want to go together properly. So it is finally a new day, and today we can actually try to put the car in a ramp, and we can actually see what's causing all the vibrations in the new back box, because I can't lie, you can hear like something is shaking. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Let's see if you guys can hear it now, but even when you start the car, because sometimes while it's idling you can still hear like the little vibration. So let's see. Okay, maybe you can't hear it now, but once we have it on the ramp, we're gonna see. So obviously the goal is to start the car and then put it up on a ramp, and then maybe later on as well I'm gonna have to maybe give it some revs while it's in the air, just so we can see where it vibrates. Because for example, so we have another quick find. You can see up the remote here, the left one is opening and closing, this one, the right one is not. So I don't know why, but we're gonna have to unscrew it, check it out. And we can see that it's when it's off the car, it does work. So I'm not sure, maybe if we put it in the wrong way or what could have happened. So we're just trying to match it now and see exactly which way, because I'm even fucking lost myself.
Jeszcze raz przekręć.
So this is off.
Dobra, on.
On.
Tam wyskoczyło, zobacz.
So we were tightening it, and you can see right here at the very top, you can see that like the actual metal part from the rivet just popped out when you're screwing it in. So we did install the clip the wrong way. So let's just kind of redo it and copy exactly what this one is.
O, teraz działa, dobra.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure we got it now. So we're gonna give it a few revs while it's on the ramp, but we're gonna see if we can hear any of the vibrations and see. So far when we were going around the exhaust system, kind of like giving it a few revs just to see if there's any leaks or any rumbles, and I'm pretty sure I don't hear any now. I'm not sure if it was because what we done over here. We were looking around here at the back, and my dad actually noticed that they put 2 nuts where the mounts are. So you can see one here at the right side, and exact same thing for the other side. Basically a nut just to separate it more. So yeah, I don't know exactly how I feel about that, but what the f can I do? Let me just go on a quick drive, and I actually really hope that the problem is solved, because I do not want to be messing around with this back box even more, I can't lie. Sure, we might actually figure that out, because my dad literally just said he's gonna put the leg on the exhaust. So you can see, for example, I'm doing a little bit of gas, and I don't know if you can hear that little vibrating. Okay, daj na tumnik, and I was gonna put it on the exhaust, and there's nothing. So it's the way it's mounted into the car. So basically all my dad done was gonna hold the exhaust in, probably put some pressure on these mounts, and the problem kind of went away. So of course the exhaust shop's DIY mount and the screw inside or the nut inside, it does not help a single bit. So hopefully as a temporary fix, we're gonna just put more zip ties and see if it works for now, just so I can see if that will actually help even a little bit. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that for now, just so we can see. We're gonna do the exact same thing for this side, and then hopefully the rumble will be gone. Alright, so our temporary fix, I'm pretty sure is done. So let's just put the car back down, and I actually hope it does work, because it's so bad the way it sounds from inside the car. Like, so this is going to be the first test after our zip ties. So far, I think it's pretty gone. And it was worse when I was in drive and reverse, so. I did one little pull, and I think it's back. Whenever I'm revving it stationary, it's not there. And if you guys are going to be asking why don't I go back to the shop, that's because the shop is 2 hours away, so I can still kind of hear it. But let me kind of go in the lower RPMs. See there? I don't know if you guys heard that just there. It's very strange. I don't know how to explain it. It used to be the worst when you're letting off the brake a little bit. So for example, but once you go to like around 2K, you can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So let's just put it back on a ramp or test it inside the garage again while we're stationary with some revs. And hopefully we can figure something out, because I don't know. Unless I actually have to get new mounts.